appeals court is now asking the Department of Justice to weigh in on whether former President Donald Trump should be sued over the riot at the Capitol. Now, the DOJ is expected to respond in mid-January, and it will be the first time the department will take a position on how far presidential immunity goes following what happened on January 6, 2021, those Capitol riots. Well, the news comes one day after the House committee investigating the Capitol riot voted to recommend the Justice Department pursue criminal charges against the former president. The decision does not mean Trump will be charged now. The committee members accused Trump of being personally involved in a larger plan to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Now, we have reached out to our lawmakers for their response to the committee vote, and only Congressman Duncan responded to us. He says, quote, "The January 6th committee is nothing more than an illegitimate kangaroo court. Anything they say or do is unserious and should be ignored." We'll let you know if we get more reactions from our South Carolina lawmakers. And for the very latest on this story and much more in our area, be sure to go ahead and download the Fox Carolina News app.